Hi, and welcome to another episode of Itsnotjunktv. I'm Jarvis, your host, and in this episode, we're going to do a review. So hang tight. Let's see what I think of this thing. Alright guys, so what we got here, I think they call this the Vevor, more, I don't know, wire stripping machine. If you was expecting an unboxing on this, that's not what this video is. These things have been out now for a bunch of years. This one I picked up used off Marketplace. It don't appear it's been used very much. I think they've tried it and realized that these don't work at this scale, or that's sort of my opinion that I've come up with already from other videos that I've watched. And like I said, if you want to see what unboxing and what comes with it and everything included and the whole joy of seeing everything being unboxed, there's plenty out there. These have been, like I say, have been around for a while. I've been wanting to try one just so, because there was some things that I've seen, tests that I've seen other people use or do that I would have done a little bit differently. Sort of going into it not expecting it to do what they claim it to do. I don't know if you've ever played around on YouTube and look at the big industrial wire strippers. They end up stripping wire that's this big. It's big communication wires, or it's big power, ocean-based power line that they lay at the bottom of the ocean. When they replace that, and all the old stuff gets pulled up, and then they end up scrapping it. Well, to split that stuff, you got to have a big machine. Well, of course, our friends overseas have scaled that down and made these smaller versions. And I guess if you had a lot of big cable you wanted to strip down, as I've said, the videos I've seen, it doesn't appear the small cable strips very well. But we'll find out. I've got a couple different sizes of cable here. I'm going to set the camera up, set this kind of over my shoulder view, and run a few different sizes through it, see what we can get it to cut and what it won't cut. Not going to be a very extensive. I'm not going through 50 different sizes here. I've got some 12 Romex that I've already taken out of the sleeve. I've got some big, I think it's 8 gauge. It was a 3-wire 8 gauge, which is stranded, which is not heavy enough to be bare bright. But I still probably strip it anyway, because being as heavy and as thick, it's about as big as my pinky. So I think it might be beneficial to strip. But with most wire, which are stranded wires, you might as well just leave the plastic on it and let it go. Take your number 2 and just run with it. You're going to get that extra money. If you get a little bit extra weight there, it ends up working out, plus your time. But this could be fun. This could help strip some bigger wire once you get it. Something fun to have around. I kind of find it hard to believe that it's going to be quicker than just a utility knife, because I can strip some Romex wire pretty fast with a utility knife. So let me get set up and we'll come back with another view, and we'll see how this thing works and run some wire through it. Alright, we got you kind of set back up here where you can see the front of the machine. I was kind of messing around a little bit, trying to get a hang of it before I come on here and look like a total noob at it. But of course I didn't get the Allen wrench to adjust the little plate here, so I might have to find one of those in a second. But here's some of the wire I got. Got some of this, I think it's, I don't know, 10 gauge maybe. Pretty heavy, solid core. Here's some stranded. I wanted to give it a shot, but it's pretty heavy gauge. Again, probably can't get bare bright for it, but just as a test, here's some of the smaller Romex, and from what I've tested, I'm going to experience, I think, the same thing that I've seen other people experience, that what you get the most of, your typical house wire, this tends to have a little issue. So we're gonna play around here and see what we can do with it. And then this was some stuff. If you haven't went back and watched some of my earlier videos, be sure to hit like and subscribe and hit the bell icon. That way you get notified of any of my new videos coming out. But if you haven't seen my scrapping a cell phone tower antenna, go back and watch that one. It's kind of neat what's inside of them. But here's one of the power supply wires. Big old heavy rubber coating on it. Couple different conductors. It looks like there may be some video wires in there. It's got a heavy aluminum shielding, so it tells me it's carrying, this must be carrying the from the ground up the tower, probably Kevlar lined, so it don't get tore in the storms. I've seen the Kevlar before. Oh, that's why it's so stiff. I've also seen this before too. It's got a fiberglass rod that runs through it to help it from getting broke, makes it stronger. This one may not even be fiberglass, may just be plastic. Huh. But there's a couple different copper wires in there, smaller stranded stuff. Again, I probably wouldn't normally bother stripping because it's too small to be considered bare bright. But I'll just, again, test for this machine. And some of the big heavy, I'm pretty sure this can be considered bare bright. I think those strands are heavy enough. I think it's 12 gauge. Correct me if I'm wrong down in the comments. I forget. I do a lot of scrapping videos, but I'm kind of an opportunist scrapper. It's hard for me to pass something up and when I see it and I know it's got value. Or, in like the case of the cell phone towers, I was just curious what was inside of them. Here I left this little bit of rubber on here because I wanted to show you what the cable looked like, you know, where we were coming from, and I thought I'd be able to slip that right off there, but of course not. Cut the tip of her finger off here with this dull pocket knife that I carry. And there's a nice big old piece of bare bright copper. Big heavy solid copper. Throw that over there. There we go. But I'm gonna have to find me a an Allen key, because of course the kit's missing it. It was used. I did get it off the marketplace for about a third the price that they usually go for, so that's what I was kind of waiting for. That's why I hadn't bought one yet, you know, because when I first seen them, of course, I was super excited and said, oh, no more sore fingers and cut thumbs from stripping wire with a utility blade. But like I say, all the videos I've seen so far, they don't seem to do real great. So, but let's stick a piece in here. Let's start with this one. This is kind of medium size, and it'll still fit in this first opening right here. So by what I've seen and what I read in the little book, and yes, I read the book and I've looked at some other videos, the smaller stuff seems to be kind of a problem. So I'm really going to crank it down in there. I mean, I don't know what it could hurt. It might hurt it. Let's alright, get this other camera so we can get another shot. Let's shoot this through here and see what happens. Cut about that much. That was it. This is what I've seen before. Let me get this other camera up in here. Hopefully it gets it. But what the issue is, the issue is this little channel, and I've seen it before, is non-adjustable. And no matter how hard you crank, it will not get it down in there. So I think what we'll try now, I think we'll try sticking it down in there and just cranking it down in as hard as we can. Sounds awful, but let's see what happens. They sent a spare blade, so we end up breaking something. Let's get it down in there. Maybe it won't allow it. Maybe that's the trick, because I've never seen anybody else try this either. Let's see. Well, not real impressed with that. Hold on a second. Let me find a Allen wrench to be able to move this plate. Alright, well that turned into more fiasco than I expected it to. You ever just go to simply grab something and then just simply drop something and then everything becomes a mess of something? Yeah. Well, that's what happened to me. But we got it now. Let's see, I think second hole up will fit. I know it'll fit that stuff. Back that goofy thing off. We'll go to one of these great big pieces of wire. Smack the tripod a bunch of times. Let's see, I think right there would probably be the best location. Let's set that there. I'm not sure who makes that little ratchet. It's unmarked, but it works good with these little snap-on quarter drive. Hex or socket head or Allen head, whatever they are. There's a technical term and I can't remember it right now. Alright, so got that moved up to the next hole. I think instead of messing around, let's just go straight out of here with this big 8 gauge. If it's going to strip something, it's going to be this one. If it don't strip this one, then I would say it's not going to strip anything. We'll give it a fighting chance. We'll take these bends out of the end down here where it was twisted up. Oh gosh, that's some heavy stuff. Alright. Let's see what it does. Okay, we'll give her a fighting chance here. Alright. Let's see what it does. Did it cut it? Did it cut it? Oh. Oh, did it cut it? Looks like it skipped over down on the end here where it was twisted up, which I kind of expected it to. No. See, this stuff's got this heavier clear plastic on it. Kind of cut through that at first. It kind of cut through the clear protective, but the harder plastic one, it did a little bit here. Yeah. Let's see if we can hit that same slot. Try it again here. See if I can't line it up and get it on that same cut and that same groove. Let's see. Crank her way on down. Why not? Alright. Let's see what it does. Ah. There we go. There we go. Let's see how far it goes, huh? Cut it in a couple different places. There's that. Uh-oh. Kind of cut her topper a little bit. I don't think that's a matter. Yeah, that stripped her off. I think that's heavy enough. I don't know. That might be heavy enough to consider. What gauge is the stranding on a, I think it's 8 gauge. What is each individual strand, I wonder? If you know, drop it in the comments below. I'm not a scrap expert. Like I say, I'm an opportunist scrapper. I like to grab it when I can. Alright, so we got that one to strip. So we know it'll do the heavier cables. I'm not sure about some of the smaller stuff. No. Let's do another piece of this. Let's see if we can get it to do it the first time. Because I'm kind of curious. So that'll be our stopping point. We'll get this right up in the center. Open it up. And we'll thread it all the way down until that nut hits. Because that's where we were before. And it worked so well. Alright. Alright. Look at that. Alright, so once you get that lock nut set and you figured out where it's going to cut at, it will cut. You just set it back to there each time, so that makes it fast. That makes it handy. You don't have to guess each time, as long as you don't knock around your little set nut there. Back it back off, because you got to start with it back open. Pick up one that's not been skint yet. I'm not even going to straighten out the end this time. I just want to see. Let's get it in there. And if you notice, I've picked up, I don't know, I think it's allergies, or I'm putting this floor down in this house at my day job. If you've not seen those videos, you've missed the videos of me doing the drywall. And I was going to do the floors, but to be quite honest with you, I was going to do a series of laying these floors, but I'm not really impressed with them. I don't like them. And I wouldn't recommend them to anybody, but it's what the client picks, so that's what I'm putting in. Alright, let's throw this last one through. Alright, did this one get it? Oh, yep, look at that. And with the amount of pulling force that this little gear drive in here has, I'm pretty sure if you left this in full length and just busted it out, I don't even think you would have to bust it out of its outer coating. I think because it comes with this larger guide, they're seeming to insinuate that it'll pull about an inch thick piece of cable through there. So I think we got this here. We may throw that on there and see if we can't get that to split. Why not? Let's see. Yeah, it's not quite the full capacity of it, but we might as well give it a shot, huh? Alright. Oh, well. I don't know why I took that back off there. And then I threw it in there, and now it's lost forever. There it is. that out. Close enough. Alright. Got that down there. Alright. Let's see if we can get this to this one's gonna have to get a little open wide. This all the way up to get that to alright, let's see if we can get her to go in there now. Alright. There we go. There we go, I got it to take. Let's crank her down. Alright. I think that's good on that. I kind of want to stop it though. I don't want to just run it up into this aluminum more than I have to. So I think we'll run it up and then stop and then pull it back and see what it did. Uh-oh. That didn't pull it off. Let's try again. Nope, don't like that at all. Instead of getting tighter, let's take it in there a little bit more. How about that? There is that tape stuff on the very end of it there. Well, I cut the tape. Electrical tape wrapped all around it there. That way in here. That's the kind of wire it is. If you can see it. It come off that cell phone tower antenna. All right. I do notice that this stuff is collapsing easier than this H gauge because of the way these wires are bundled. It's got that Kevlar in it. Let's take her way down and see what happens here. Nope. It doesn't like this stuff. Turn it off. I don't want to. Well, look at that. There's one spot there that looks like it missed. But it sure took that off there. A piece of aluminum shielding. I can go and you sheet aluminum. It's not much, but let's see. I think we can quickly. I want to give one more shot to the smaller gauge Romex and see if we can't have some better results with it. Maybe. But there's a good possibility that it's gonna perform just like I expected. Not very well. So let's get this one back down here. say we go with this one right here. Yep. Well, let's see if having this down all the way, not in line with it, but maybe further down to where it's more in line with the groove further down in this drive wheel, that might do it. Let's try it. Give yourself a fighting chance. Big piece of Romex, probably 12 gauge, 14 gauge. I bet you it's 14. Let's get it in there. Move this. Where's that hair? Way up there for that. Stuff hitting the ground. Alright. Nope, this area done exactly what it does every time. See how I don't think that little camera is going to help, but what it's doing is the smaller wire slips off to the side of the cutter wheel. And there's just no way that you're going to get that to line up. This outer groove in the drive wheels is just not designed to take the smaller wire. Now if they had a smaller drive wheel that you could put in there, now I've got this thing cranked, but I bet you it doesn't slit it. It might get bits and pieces, but I bet it don't for the most part. Nope, it's already pulled itself completely out. See if I can get you in here to see this. See how the wire, so now it's just pushed itself up against the side of the blade. Now it's trying to push itself up the side of the blade, and it's just riding. Of course it's going to pull itself through. Yep, let's see. Yep. Skin it down one side, and that was about it. So did the same thing on this 10 gauge or whatever it is. I don't even know what it is. It is oh, it's whatever ought. It's wiped out and I can't read it, of course, on this little piece. But even this one, I'm gonna see, it won't even fit through that little hole. Alright, so I think that gives us a conclusion. Well, there it is. There's our test results. Just as I expected, it performed exactly like I kind of expected, and like I've seen the other results from other reviews. Does the big cables. If you wanted to split, if you got lucky and was getting something about as big as your pinky or bigger, it'll split it all day. Cut it into big chunks, leave it there, and let it roll. But if you're trying to strip Romex, which is what about, I would say 70% of the wire the average scrapper gets is tear outs from home remodels, you're not going to strip it with this, and I wouldn't suggest you waste your money unless you can get you one real cheap, and then you want to play around with this drive wheel and find one, you know, or have one made, or whatever you would do. But you would have to definitely, this drive wheel here on the bottom that pulls the wire would have to have a smaller channel in it in order to direct that cable, that wire, right where it needs to be. But again, if you're going to get this, try to do 14, 12, any of those gauge Romex wires. Don't waste your money. If you're going to be splitting big stuff, it's a fun little machine. I could see being able to be able to rip through some bigger cable, and it coming in handy. Again, I don't get that much of it, but if you do, you got access to it. Don't waste your thumbs and your money on razor blades. Just get you one of these and bust through it real fast. But that's my review of it. Don't waste it if you're just doing the small stuff. Do it with a utility knife. You'll get used to it. You'll get fast at it. If you're doing big cable, go ahead and invest the money. A couple $100. I think that's what these retail for on Amazon. This is the Vevor, however you pronounce it. Really well made machine. Sturdy, probably weighs 50, 60 pounds. Quiet motor, you heard it run. I had it running many times during this video, so it's not overly loud, not obnoxious, wouldn't give you a headache to let it run. Could even run it in an apartment. If you were stripping some in an apartment, you could without an issue, I don't think. Doesn't create a big mess. Couldn't see it being very messy, which I didn't really do a little bit of dust, but that was probably already on the table. But that's my opinion, and that's what I'm going to stick to. If you've liked this episode, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. My name is Jarvis, and this is Itsnotjunktv. Thanks for coming by.